Hello everyone, and welcome back to D&D with WhatTeamComp. I am your host, the Uncommon Guru, and welcome back to Cormundum Chaos, where we are once more delving into the collective. It's a very interesting way of going through what could only be considered a trial, and have a good time. So, start off, let's make sure we reintroduce everybody again real quick. First up, we have Aurelius, who is played by Zark Wartz. Aurelius is our human paladin.
He is also chaotic stupid.
Exceptionally so. And
I feel like that's most of the party.
He proves it every time he's on. It's his turn to do things. But granted, he's also chaotic strong, too. So, you know.
You can get away with it.
More that people can't
We'll
quite stop him all the time. But
Bet!
hold on. I'm still talking. But one of those two other people who could potentially help with that is Genevieve, aka Fidget, who is played by Mary. Genevieve is our human fighter.
Hello.
Serenity, who is played by the lovely Paris, who is saying bet, 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 because of course she was, as only a Azamar barbarian should be able to do, flexing like the muscular Amazonian goddess that she sees herself as.
No,
That
Mom,
she
you're fucking
is.
chaotic stupid. Fight me.
And we have Artemis, who is played by Kendall. Artemis is our half-elf artificer wizard.
Hello.
I need to remember that you are more wizard than artificer at this point, because I keep making that mistake.
Don't worry, it'll even back out next time we level up.
Nice.
He's more smart than gun.
No,
For
this is
now.
more guns
I
than
need more
smart.
gun.
Add more gun. Loads it up. Shame.
Listen, I like it balanced. I need both of them to be the same. They'll be the same eventually.
Of course. It is very
Once
fun.
I'm at level 10, I'll have Fireball.
Magnificent.
Ooh.
That being said, when we last left off, we are still in day 2. However, we're through the rough parts of it, where through a very quick bit of thinking, the darkness spell prevented you from being shot at, while maneuvering and keeping things set in a particular pattern allowed you to outmaneuver the half-elf chasing you for Artemis. The one known as, I'm always going to get his, Auri, who eventually realized that if he wanted to catch you, he had to break off and prevent himself from pursuing further. Along the way, Fidget has a new companion, affiliate, associate. She has an object that is following her and her commands for the moment in the form of this construct that is Tedrix, one of her biggest enemies, who said that they have a plan. They probably fucked up. They probably fucked up
He said he
hard.
fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, he probably fucked up hard. But he is also with you all, which makes this perhaps even more interesting, if you will, as you all make your way to the original / final safe house.
Which you had me roll for what happens while we walk there.
Yep. And more than remarkably enough, you actually rolled really well. So nothing will happen in the interlude leading up to it. And you were able
That's
to...
not ominous.
Of course not. You are able to actually arrive as far as Artemis, specifically with her passive perception, can tell. You are unseen. Because of you all with your passives, Artemis does still have, like, what, a 20?
21.
21.
A 21? That's right. So she...
Soon to be 22.
soon to be 22. Just know it. Give her... Actually, no. You're level
We're still 7.
7, yeah. Level
Yeah, we're
8.
7.
Yeah, so in 2 levels, it'll probably be like 23. Because the
Why
proficiency
y'all like
bonus
just
will go
making
up.
her? Yeah, y'all just like making her. She's just gonna be a bigger problem.
I'm
We
just-
love her
She's gonna see
though.
space. She's gonna see us through the screen.
She is going to be aware of the people controlling our characters soon.
Stop looking at me. I'm not wearing a shirt.
Put your titties away.
My titties. She's looking.
The memories. The memories.
Memories. All of us-
Memories. Memories. Hold on. Before we get
Anyway,
before we get too deep into this, I do want to actually pull up something specifically for you, Paris, because I did tell it to the others beforehand, and you.
What?
I was hoping that I would tell you this before session, but I would like to just make this very clear that I wanted to just be direct with you. In this session, there's going to be some NPCs who are going to discuss things with you. I want to make it obviously, DM to players. I love you guys as the players. I know you guys are playing your characters as they are. The NPCs are going to bring up stuff that are going to be pointing out stuff about the characters and how they have interacted, not how the players are. They are not attacks towards them, not me attacking you. It is me playing those NPCs and how they have seen things. I want to make sure that was very clear because I love you guys, and I want you guys to know that I love your portrayals of your characters, even if they are some of the most absolute goober decisions that I can see. As a DM, I adore them, and I want to see them continue. But the NPCs do have to voice things as well, and they might not align with how you see the character being played or how I want to see the character played. I wanted to make sure that was very clear.
I appreciate the warning.
Yes, I wanted to make sure that warning was given because it's less of a warning and more of a DM placing a hand on the shoulder going, "You're awesome. I have to play the bad guy now. Remember not to hate me when this is all over."
So basically what he's saying is we fucking suck.
I can't believe these guys suck so much.
we're horrible people. I mean,
Look,
come on.
Yep.
If this is the straw that makes me hate you as a DM, then holy fucking shit, I've been blind to a lot of shit.
I've done some really...
I remember Meg.
Yeah, I remember Meg. I remember what I did with your mom.
Oh my god! Sorry. That just sounded like a really weird your mom joke.
Your mom. Well, I've done some
I'll tell
weird
y'all
shit.
after if y'all already know.
Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
great. It's great. But currently, we are here in Aitse. We are here in Wavebreak, and we are here back amongst friends. Granted, you have also seen that there were people who turned on each other when Tedric had kind of given... less gave a command and more of a... made it very clear that he was in danger. Yes, air quote friends. For one of you it is. For the rest of you, you're still looking around with worries, suspicion, or just, just a belligerent arm's lengthness to them. And as you're led through, you're given, I'd say, over an hour to just kind of decompress. There's actually an area where you can actually take a... it's basically a shower where you can just kind of rinse yourself off and stuff, feel like you're not grimy and disgusting. There's also a washroom area where you can just like wash your face if that's all you need. Some people are just like there, just splashing water on their face, just getting the adrenaline to come down.
Aurelius is going to become a soup of demonic energy.
How so? Oh yeah.
Nate.
Yes.
In a fucking bath. Like what?
Yeah, if you.
What do you think? Did you think he was actually gonna jump into a fucking cauldron and then just hook up a fire underneath him and be like, "All right, guys,
Everybody
eat it."
is a soup.
I made
wasn't
dinner.
Sure. I wasn't sure, and then I realized, oh, you meant you were going to take a bath. Okay, yeah, no, there's a place where you can actually take like,
Sorry.
Hold on, this is actually a small little point here. There is a bath area where you can like go and you can bathe. It has running water that is like when you get in at first you're like okay, and you're like okay, it's been warmed by like someone bringing in like buckets of warm water and whatnot. The water doesn't get cold.
It's the hot bathinator!
They have a hot bathinator.
Yep.
I love how I can hear that I broke Don.
I love that, but I wasn't expecting the hot bathinator.
I'm going to look this
Sorry,
up to
you
see if
bring
that's a
this up.
thing.
I don't think it.
No,
It's not a thing.
it is
not.
not! It's not a fucking thing, my bro. It's just he's bought the Summon of Hass campaign, and that was all my brain just thought up at that moment.
This is so depressing.
Hello,
There is
Jamie.
no hot.
Sorry, because like my day is ruined, my crops are dying.
All right. Okay. Dokie.
Okay, so,
Dokie.
yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah, so we're
Focus.
Don't worry, gremlins. I am still on a path. After the hour is up, Aurelius, you eventually get cleaned. Serenity is writing in her journal. Anything the other two of you are doing during the hour? Just little things, really.
Fidget would have splashed water on her face before finding an area and been pacing.
Yep.
Honestly, to the point where it almost looks like she's gonna wear a hole in the ground because she is pacing the same area over and over and over again.
Before Aurelius went to go make himself soup, Artemis would have taken his arm.
Just taking it off.
He's like, hold still. Let me take this off and let me fix it.
He probably would have had to take his leg off too to get into the bath without fucking anything up.
I mean, it's all waterproof.
Oh, okay, cool. Then don't worry about it.
Yeah. So you have
Cat
that.
staring
for
into
the
the light
moment.
and squinting because hurt his eyes. Dumbass.
He's a cat. He has no brain cells. He's borrowing them.
You're not even orange.
My brain cells are currently going through a divorce. It's a tough subject.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I
man.
wish he was kidding.
I'm aware of it. But Fidget, after a little bit of pacing, Velinor kind of just move over and just kind of sit nearby. Just kind of lean back. You doing all right?
Mentally preparing myself for what we're about ready to be doing tomorrow. But as for me being okay, I don't think I've ever been okay. Yeah. How are you?
Worried for you and for the rest of the group. Anything in particular got you worried?
I don't know how the group will react tomorrow.
I wasn't sure how they were going to act today. It's always chaos.
If you thought today was chaos, tomorrow it's a free-for-all, Velinor. The whole day we are going to be fighting to keep me from being caught.
He kind of like leans forward, puts his elbows on his knees, and just thinks for a moment. You wanting to fight, or you wanting to try and hide?
Fighting's what I'm good at. That's what I've always been good at. Is I'm a fighter. It's what I do for the did for the collective. It's what I do in this group. I fight.
So you're looking forward to the fight, but you're also knowing that it's going to be a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I've gotten used to how the group is in combat. I'm falling back into my old collective ways with fighting, and it ain't meshing too well. I mean, I've always had a tendency to run in head first to a fight. That's just been how I've always been. You've seen it. That's how I've always been.
You give
But
me a headache. Not in a bad way, just... I get it.
See, Fidget is somebody who will step in front of somebody to help. You've seen it when I've literally pushed Adi out of the way from getting hit and taking the damage myself. The baby face that I was in the collective, it was one for all. It was not watch out for the person you're with. Even when I was working with Tank, he and I both ran in knowing that one of us may not make it. But we did not worry about making sure the other was quote unquote safe in the fight.
But you have people now, like Artemis really is the only one who comes to mind, and I wish I could say otherwise, but she moves from place to place.
And she's good at it.
She's good at it, but I've also seen her get hurt. I've seen that what that does for everyone else, and kind of fond of her myself. Prefer she didn't get hurt, but
I mean, it's a given that we want to make sure Adi is safe.
But what about the rest of you? Making sure the rest of you feel safe.
Be fair, I think we're all myself, Serenity, Aurelius, we're kind of tanky, and we are going to be in the face of the danger to make it so it doesn't get back to Adi. But that only works on a certain scale, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow the scale is going to be at least 10, if not more times the size of what we're used to.
But all
So
of
I
you
don't
should
know if
feel
I
safe.
can keep any of them.
All of you should feel safe.
This is true, and according to Von Starling, this is supposed to be a safe. They've prepared things that we fight the ones who are able to make it in, not everybody that are coming for me. Those are two very different things. You're familiar with how I fight, how the group fights. I am familiar with how the collective fights and how my other group, the one that I used to run with, fights, and they can hold their own better than I can. So, that I might seem scary on the battlefield. They are scary on the battlefield. Even I get scared by them, and that's saying something because I ran with those dudes.
He nods slowly after a moment. I'll keep that in mind.
I'm used to understanding the battlefield a bit better, if that makes sense. I don't know how the groups will mesh. I don't know who's gonna be running in, who's gonna be staying behind. I don't know if, since it's been 2 years, if people have changed their way of fighting that from what I used to work with. I don't know anything, and people are getting hurt, and I can't help. Out of all of this, I haven't been hurt once. And the people who I usually try to keep from getting hurt are getting hurt. So I don't know what to do anymore, Valinor.
He nods. If you haven't figured out anything before dusk, let me know.
And on top of that, I'm supposed to be finding out which one of the other crew isn't working for.
Kind of motions, and like you're in like a private area, but like he's like basically telling you keep your voice down.
Sorry. I get
it. I get it. Just take a deep breath. I doubt we're going to be seeing the last of these people tomorrow, but breathe. All right.
I'm trying.
Just try.
I swear I'm trying.
I know you are. I'm not saying you're not. Just breathe. You're doing good. All right?
You're probably the calmest one out of all of us, Valinor.
I am panicking. I'm just really good at not showing that part. And it gives you this, like, playful smile.
We have the night. I'm gonna do what I can to calm the nerves, and I promise not to wear a hole in the floor from pacing too much longer.
Oh, whatever this is made of, wear a hole right through it. Maybe we'll actually be able to plant something in here later. Stands up, gently pats your shoulder. I'm gonna give this place a once-over, see if there's anything problematic that I can see that they might not. Doubt it, but
Von Stellan likes the second set of eyes. He won't take offense if you find something.
Probably wants a third and fourth set, too. That's why he asked for us to help. Shrugs, gives you a nod, and walks off.
And right back to pacing Fidget will go.
Gotcha. Serenity. You are writing in your journal, and after a little bit, someone kind of walks over and just kind of flops near you. Not like right next to you, not like, hey, what you doing? But like flops near you and just kind of looks over at you. Gives a little wave as you kind of broken from your previous seat.
Is it crazy?
It's Ember, actually.
Oh.
Hi.
She just looks. Hi.
Not writing anything condemning about us, are you?
You know, arch their eyebrow but close their journal. Not you, no.
Oh, good.
More simple thoughts.
Oh?
Personal thoughts.
Oh. If you say so.
Unfortunately, I don't know you well enough to share those.
Well, hi, my name's Ember.
I'm Serenity.
Holds out a hand.
Still don't know you well enough. She takes her hand.
She kind of laughs slightly at that. Well, I mean, we met, yesterday? I mean, I don't expect you to know me any better than you know Midnight or Tank or yada, 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 so on and so forth. I mean, the only way to really, know a person better is, to interact with us and whatnot. And we're kind of busy. This is like the first time I had a moment to actually sit down and talk to any of you. You've all been all over the place.
And you picked me?
I mean, I was going to go talk to Fidget, but she was like pacing. And have you ever seen someone like wound up that looks like they're going to be like, 2 steps away from throwing you out a window? Yeah, when Tank said that she could do that, I almost didn't believe him. But the more I've watched her, the more I'm like, she probably could throw me through a window. And I'm not sure if I like that. I like not being thrown through windows. Then again, you could too, but you seem like the person who I could like do my nails with and like lean back and have someone massage while washing my hair. Have you ever had one of those before? There's some over on Wave Break's coastline that are divine.
I typically do those things myself. Not much of a luxury to have those done.
You haven't had
had the luxury.
You haven't had the luxury? What?
Not really. No, I haven't.
What? Just money or just
soldier?
Soldier.
Soldier life tends to not allow for those things.
You're not a soldier. Come on. Look at you. You're way too pretty to be a soldier.
You're gonna arches her eyebrow. I've seen some very beautiful soldiers.
I mean, yeah. I mean, have you ever seen a pretty boy? Like, you take one look at them, you're like, imagine that boy in shiny armor, riding on a white horse. Just like stories. And then you remember that the actual soldiers are the ones who have dirt smeared across their brow, who look like they've gone to hell and back. And you're like, hold on a second. This is elevated.
This is your backwards way of telling me that you might have a crush on a railing.
Backwards way? No, if I was going to tell you I had a crush on Aurelius, I'd say, that man is hot. Like, he walked through the fires hot.
So like you just did.
Kind of like makes like a, maybe. But then kind of shrugs. Tell you what.
If you're hoping for interesting conversation, I don't think I'm the one that you want to come to.
Why not? I mean, don't get me wrong. I would talk to your other friend, the one who hangs out with Crazy, but she seems to be the sort who would be, yeah, her. She seems the sort to be who would talk, and I'd go cross-eyed, and I would just lose myself, because Crazy talks, and I just go cross-eyed and lose myself. He talks so fast, or he talks about things I don't care about. I just want to see how it will go. You never felt that?
Huh? Plenty of times. I've learned to ask her about specifics.
I'm bad at specifics. I like seeing the big picture. Yeah. But she takes out 2 gold pieces and offers them to you. You should go get yourself something nice day after tomorrow. Again, the scalp massage and getting your hair actually cleaned out with some of the Napa products. Get your nails done. Make it so they actually feel like they're part of your body and not just extensions.
Well, I appreciate it. I certainly have the money for it.
It's on me.
She sighs, but she will smile and take the gold.
Now, if I'm
sorry, dog. She's like not so receptive.
I mean, most of your characters are just like, we don't know you. We're kind of just so it's understandable. But she kind of stands like, I know when I'm not wanted. I interrupted you mid-thought. I get it. Don't worry about it. Just figured I'd have just a quick bit of girl talk with one of the girls, so I figured I could actually talk to. I'll be on my way then.
It's not that I mind your company. I'm not good at conversation.
But you're talking to
kind
me,
of raised
therefore, I'd say that's conversing.
I suppose, but not exactly. She just gestures to all of this. Not exactly of the same ilk as your group. And I don't mean the collective, I mean... She just gestures like more grandiose city?
Wavebreak? Oh, believe me, this is like small scale on this end. There's bigger cities.
I'm from a farm. And I went from a farm to a clergy.
Okay, but Fidget's from a farm. And she made her way here, and so yeah, she gets it a little bit better, but you're not the only farms girl here. There's other people here who are farms girls, farms boys, and farms thems. Farm hands? Farm hands.
Exactly, but they came here.
No, they didn't all come here. Some of them went to places in Corvin. Some of them went to places... Oh, you meant in the fact that they're... Yeah, you went to a clergy. Yeah, but you're not, like... Aurelius is, like, his whole being a black sheep and whatnot. You're, like... Don't get me wrong. You could make for a good sheep and whatnot, but you got too much... You got too much us in you.
Leans her head back like she looks confused.
You got eyes that say you're rebellious. You're a fighter. You don't want to listen to what people say. I mean, you want to do the right thing, probably. I mean, based off the fact you're here, but someone told you what to do and you disagreed with it? I don't think that you're the person who holds their tongue. She kind of sticks out her tongue at you.
How much do you know of me?
Only so much. I mean, do you have more you're willing to tell?
I'm surprised they didn't share much about me.
I mean, I can know
I
as
don't
much
think-
as I want, but knowing what you know is different than knowing what I've been told.
I don't think the rebellious side is exactly me that you're seeing.
No, I feel like it's you. Because I don't see anything
lot of faith
else
in me.
other than you.
For that, you should be so lucky. I'm sorry. You were saying that you came over here to talk to a girly girl, and while I would love to be able to, I have not experienced it in the same capacity as I think you have.
Not in the same experience sort of way, but you know. I'm for it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But, again, I caught you mid-thought. I'll let you go. Let you go have your little time to write stuff down and stuff like that. Just make sure that you, whenever you put my stuff down, say, she's cute, but she's a little overbearing. I'll respect that at the very least. Winks at you and then just like does like a little skip, walk away.
This looks confused. Or she goes off to find Artemis, because holy shit.
Artemis, where are you at? You are fixing
Artemis
the
is sitting
arm.
some. Yeah, she's sitting somewhere and she is fixing the arm.
Okay. That's where you'll find her. Crazy is not currently with you. Crazy went to report in.
This is a bad time for me to talk to you, or would you like to be...
Go ahead and sit. I'm not going to be looking at you, but I can hear you. Go ahead.
I got very distracted by that picture. She sits down beside Artemis. Okay, I mentioned earlier that I would tell you what had me boggled. I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yes. Yes. Go on.
I'm not certain, but I think I saw my old teacher. Was why I was freaking out.
She'll pause and look over at her. Is he a problem?
Wish I could say no and not feel like I'm lying.
Then he's a problem. What's his name?
Alistair. Though he typically goes by Anderson, depending upon who's talking to him.
I see. She pulls out a notepad and quickly writes both of those things down.
The
And what's it
hit
look
list
like?
grows! She'll give a description of him. Tall, the typical blonde hair, blue eyes type thing.
Ah,
He looks like what you would expect when you hear the word paladin.
she kind of stiffens and grimaces. Disgusting, then.
Yeah.
Got it.
I didn't think he was so bad at first. But
When you're in an
He's the
abusive
reason that-
situation, you typically don't think it's so bad.
that's the problem. He wasn't abusive. Our relationship, our romance was fine. But I don't know if he's the reason that Evictus is here. I don't know how much of a hand he had in all of this. And I don't know how... And it's upsetting.
There's a soft. She takes in a slow breath. He was part of the clergy that took you. Yes.
She nods, though it was more me requesting it than anything.
But he was part of it.
She nods.
Did he try to stop them?
I don't know. I didn't see him when they did everything. It was just me and the people who conducted the ritual.
Then as far as we know, he enabled it.
She looks uncomfortable, but it's like the thought of you're just voicing thoughts that she has kept back. I suppose. Either way, I'm sure I was just mistaking it. It's not hard to find a dude with blonde hair and blue eyes. It's really not. I think just the last few days have had me stressed.
But you recognized him.
It seemed like he was familiar. I didn't get a good enough look at him.
I saw the way you shrunk down in your seat. How you reacted. You shouldn't dismiss your own survival mechanisms. They're what are keeping you alive.
As there's a brief moment between you as that, you guys hear a fake bung, and you just see Crazy just slide next to you on what appears to be some kind of makeshift, like just a board that he used as a sled, and clearly had tried to like surf down and is just like laying on the back of it, staring up at the ceiling, just with this look of just like, huh, that didn't work. Holds up a notebook, starts writing something down, looks up at you. Hi, am I interrupting something?
Well, we were
Scream
having a
into emotion.
conversation.
Sorry, I'll
It
roll
was
away.
pretty private.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Just
Are we... No,
rolls off.
hold on a sec. She looks over at Serenity. Are we done with this conversation, or would you like to continue?
We can be done.
Or do you want to tell me about that thing that you... don't like me saying that I'm in love with you?
It's not that I don't like it. I'm just surprised.
Just Crazy, like rolling out of the room, pokes her head in. I'll be out here. Slides out of view. Let you guys have a very private conversation.
Believe me, I don't dislike it. I adore it. I'm just... You're the first person who said that, so I think it might be the shock of it.
All right. And now,
I love... Oh? What do you mean?
are you still shocked?
I think a little bit, but I think it's more of a happy kind of shock.
Okay. Artemis will lean up and give her a kiss on the cheek.
She
I
leans
don't want
into
you to
it.
be afraid. I don't want you to be afraid to talk to me about these things.
I will try and keep that in mind. She'll just put her forehead against hers. Do you mind if I sit here while you work?
Go ahead. And she'll raise her voice a little bit. Crazy.
Pokes his head back
We're
in.
done now.
Okay, good. Okay. Waddles inside, looks between the two. Sorry, that sounded really intimate and I felt really awkward.
It's
You're
fine.
fine.
We're past that part.
Okay, good. So,
Okay.
I saw that you were working on something. Can I look at it? Is it yours? No.
Yes. Well, this is like half mine and half what some of the elves over at Cameral's sanctuary.
Kemahu? Hold on a second. Pulls out a notebook. Flip, flip, flip. Oh, Cameral! Oh, yeah! Cool! Can I see?
Sure. She kind of moves it a little bit over so that he can look at it. But
And
she is still actively working on it.
Of course, and he will hop on a stool and help you out with making sure that it's fixed and whatnot, and see if he can offer his own suggestions. However, many of his suggestions are like, what if you added knives to it, like knives to the fingers, and just made them knives? Then you'd just be knife hand. He couldn't use his sword as good, which, you know, whatever. I'm sure he'll get over it. But knife hand. You can tell he's trying to keep an air of jovialness. There is a sense of tension in his eyes, a sense that he's uncertain what tomorrow will bring, and he's trying to make sure that this time before tomorrow is spent with good company and a little bit of silliness.
Mm-hmm. And Artemis will engage with him properly and be like, "Well, I wouldn't say that we should make his fingers into knives, but we can make like a trigger so that knives can come out of his fingers."
Ooh, like little knives on the backs of his fingers, so it turns them into claws. Ooh, that's smooth.
We should probably ask him before we do that.
Okay, but wouldn't he be? Wouldn't be so elated
We're not
if he had
going.
it?
It maybe, but they are his fingers.
You're right. I know. Fine. We can wait.
Yes. I grabbed it from him before he went to go and make a soup of himself. I mean, take a bath.
Oh, he calls it making him soup of himself too? Oh man, I knew I liked him.
Yes.
I was gonna get him like something really big that was like really bulky, but he seems to be like more of like the smooth sort of guy. I'll have to think more about what to get him. Cause I got something for the rest of you. I think I did. Did I get something for him? I don't remember if I did. He can wait. He's a big boy.
Mash cut to Aurelius in the bathtub, really small, like just only his head peeking out over the top.
Yeah, just like
Cucumbers on his eyes and everything.
I would.
Yes. While you are relaxing, because I imagine at some point you're just almost half taking a nap. Because it's just warm water, and it's probably the most relaxed you've been in a hot minute.
This has been the best bath he's had since entering the abyss.
That's a long time, then. Yeah.
It's been like, what, maybe 5 years, something like that.
Yes, and this is
When
a
was the
warm
last
bath.
time you bathed?
He's bathed in an intermediary time, but not like this.
Yeah, he's bathed since then, but this is comparable to what it was at the keep.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Because at the keep they would have like hot springs and stuff where they could have it just be perpetually hot this way. They don't tend to have many places like that further south, and this has got a bit of homeliness to it. As you're like, again, you're just kind of relaxing. There's a little bit where like, because there's like a public bath kind of area where people can do, you know, relaxing and whatnot, in different baths and whatnot. You do hear a knock at the door, and then someone enters, looks around, and you're like heads gently above the water. You're just kind of like, do I look? Do I not? You do hear someone has entered and is currently going about getting into their own bath. As you hear them just kind of slip into the water with this. Do you peek out to see who it is?
Nah, he's meditating over here.
Gotcha.
You know that feeling of you're in bed
And you don't want to
and
get
the
out.
fan is on,
Oh, you don't want to get out.
and you want to turn off the fan, but you know that to do that, you have to leave the covers.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like he wants to look over, but if he does, he leaves the warm, and he does not want to.
Right.
And so he refuses.
Right. There's a few minutes of just whoever else is in here just kind of enjoying the water. You hear another person. There's no knock this time. The door just opens as you hear another person. You're like, it's still warm. Don't need to. As you hear, Silver. You hear Tank enter. Very distinctly Tank. As you hear him.
It's hard to not hear Tank.
Yes, as you like almost reflexively like peek out and just kind of see him just look over and kind of pull up a stool and sit next to the bath. As you can see, Silver is in one of the adjacent baths, and he's not like fully submerged, but he's like in the water, just arms on the sides, just enjoying the bath. As he kind of slowly opens an eye and stares at Tank with this look that's just like, I'm in the middle of relaxing. What do you want? As Tank sits next to him, he starts kind of doing like some thieves talk bit and whatnot, and then Silver just like holds my hand, just like, I couldn't care less about talking like that. I'm gonna be very poignant and plain. What do you want, Tank? And Tank just kind of pauses, and it's just like, we're getting last bits in. I was told to check in, make sure that everyone in your group made it in safely. I mean, safely, yeah. Sanely? What do you mean? Kind of peeks an eye open again. Just like he's clearly like, I am having a bath, I'm enjoying myself. You keep asking questions, stop it. Just let it go. You know it is riding with me nowadays. Smelling the ocean a bit too much, I must start thinking of home. Is that bad? No? Yeah? Maybe? I don't know. All I know is I don't like it. There's a moment of silence between them as Tank seems to be unsure how to react to this. Then after a moment, just Silvertongue's just like, should I kill the person in the other tub? I don't like people listening in, but at the same time, I don't think we're talking about anything that important. But I think I could.
If you do, don't miss.
You hear the sound of water, and you can see him kind of like lifting himself up. Oh, Aurelius! No, sorry, Renegade! My apologies, good sir. I didn't know it was you in here. I just heard someone treading water. If I had known you were in here, I'd have started talking sooner. Tank, you can leave. I'm not done. You can leave. It's fine. It's just Renegade. That's not what I'm saying. It's fine. Man.
Why did you just make Handsome Jack the fucking
He's always
NPC?
been like this.
You're welcome.
It's always been like this. You
This
just
is
haven't
Silver.
interacted with him. This is Silvertongue. And you see Tank just like struggle for a minute, like, no, I'm supposed to. But he did get what he wanted, which was they are back and they are okay. And so he gets up and kind of glances over to you with this not worried look, but this look that clearly says, be careful, before he takes a step back and moves out, pauses at the door to look at you again, gives you a very slight nod, and then exits and closes the door. So how did your trip go? Smoothly. That's not what I heard. I heard you guys got shot at.
Yeah.
He's just grinning the whole time looking at you.
He just kind of nods and is just like, what, you haven't been shot at before?
Oh, I've been shot at before. And obviously there's a smoothness to that, but there's also the rush of realizing that you made out like a bandit and you actually were the victor in that. You don't feel that anymore? That rush of adrenaline that makes you remember that you're not drowning?
Not anymore.
You should try drowning. It would really help open up the pores of realizing that you've got a lot of stuff that you could say.
I've already died once. I'll be fine.
So have a lot of people. They come back stranger. But normally they come back and they're realizing that there's a zest for life. You just kind of look like you leaned deeper into it. Like you're a husk waiting for someone to crack open your shell and see that you're empty inside. Then again, if you were empty inside, I don't think you'd wield that sword the way you do. Good ship, by the way.
If I was empty inside, there wouldn't be blood and guts and brain and other.
Well, I'm not talking about that kind of empty. I'm talking about there's nothing inside of you. Like, you're like me. You don't have a soul. You came back. You're alive, but there's no soul in there.
Define soul.
Reason to be alive. Reason to hold back. Reason to not indulge in little things. Looking around and seeing that you're just surrounded by a bunch of other people who don't yet realize that without a soul, they'd be much better people. And then you try and release them from it, but they don't come back because that's unfortunate for them. They weren't strong enough.
A person's soul does not matter. Their actions do.
But their actions are tied to soul and an identity. Being something. Without a soul, you can act however you want. And you, man. I know that, we've got rules and procedures and whatnot, but I've been wanting to take it to Tedrick from day one. I've just held back because it just didn't feel fun. But watching you... Oh, there was blood in your eyes. You may not have wanted to kill him, but... to see you do whatever it was you had planned, I was here for it. It would have been a spectacle, I'm sure.
Has anyone ever told you the concept of a dark soul?
Color me intrigued. What is this dark soul you speak of?
See, I don't believe that I've left my soul behind. I believe that the light has faded from it. That the dark has become more prevalent. Think of it like this. When you intend to do something, that is an active thought. You are actively going through and making that decision. That is a light part of your soul. But the dark is primal. The dark is instinct. The dark is not a thought, but an action. It is a feeling. I have lost balance between light and dark.
You just lean heavily towards that darkness, that primal need.
I do what I must for the situation at hand.
A dark soul. Kind of leans back and splashes the water a little bit. I kind of like the sound of that. A dark soul. It doesn't have that edge of someone who's trying too hard. It sounds like a genuine threat. I like that. We can be soul brothers. Both of us with this dark soul. No need for other little bits telling us what not to do. Acting as needed. right? Because
Until this mission is complete, you are an ally. But once that is passed, unless you get in my way, I'll not get in yours.
I like that kind of camaraderie. I'm sure
But know this. If you do cross us, I cannot guarantee that the darkness will not take hold.
I can promise you, with a guarantee, that if the darkness takes hold and you come swinging, I'll respect you. Just leans a little deeper into the water. Just every now and then you hear a little splash, just of him enjoying himself in the bath.
Once Aurelius is ready, he'll get out, get changed, and just quietly mumble to himself, "Let there be fire in Abyssal." And that's it. Now, if this scene's over, I'm gonna finally have my butter chicken.
Go eat your butter chicken.
Okay.
The butter. Buttermilk.
So I'll give it a moment to let Kendall get back. But yeah.
Please tell me Silver isn't in there when I go into the bath, or is this fucking separated by gender?
That depends. There's the separation of genders, and then there's the communal. Communal allows you to be with whoever, basically saying, I don't care if you see me, and the other ones are like, no, I do care.
Yeah, Aurelius went into the communal. He gives zero shits.
Neither does Silver.
Goes into the communal, god!
Yeah. Look, if you're looking at his ass, you're looking at his ass because you were looking.
It's not that, it's more she just despises his entire being. But so does everyone else, so I mean, what's new?
Are you...
Yeah.
Where are you going to, Ferris?
Communal.
Okay. You go in, and he is there. And he gives a little wave. Takes like a hand ladle thing and like pours it over his head and back.
She shakes her head. There's a mumble of, God damn it.
He doesn't bother you immediately. Lets you go over and get into your bath.
His existence is a bother.
So he's bothering you by existing.
She's still getting that bath because holy fuck, the dirt and grime of 2 days is...
It's on you.
It's making her squirm. She can feel the crusty. She doesn't like it.
What's up?
Welcome back.
Missed anything?
The
Silver tongue praising Aurelius for what he did, or almost did to Tedric.
Oh, I was here for that bit.
yeah, and
Okay.
then just
Yeah, so basically underhanded threats back and forth.
both and
fun.
and ending with Aurelius being like, if you come at us, I can't can't promise, or not come at us. If you get in our way, I can't promise that the darkness won't take hold. And he basically said, if that happens, I'll respect you.
No.
And now,
Serenity is taking a bath.
And as Serenity went to the communal bath, where Silvertongue is, and she's like, his presence is a bother to me. And
Aurelius is still wiping his fucking ass over here.
I want him so bad!
You what?
You know how you like fucking... This is just a locker room fucking thing. You know how you fucking spin a wet towel and then smack someone with it?
Right.
I want to do that to Riley so fucking badly.
What is stopping you?
She's already in the water.
Serenity's nicer than I am.
She's already in the water, that's why. Obviously.
If you think, buttermilk biscuit ass, that I, as a person, would not get out of the water just to do this, you are so sorely mistaken.
No, I'm right.
Your buttermilk biscuit ass. I love it.
I am white as can be.
It's so good.
Buttermilk biscuit. Hold on.
Put that in quotes.
Relaxing. Let me correct myself. She's trying to relax.
After a little bit, it will finally come up where he's just like, so you're that, Serenity, yeah?
Yes.
Are you like Renegade where you like gave yourself the name, or is that your actual name?
It's my actual name.
Damn. That's such a good collective name. It's a shame that that's your real name, because that means that it'd be too easy to put two and two together for people. You seem like the sort of person to have that kind of name. Serenity. Then you punch him in the face.
I do not like titles.
Titles? No, it's not a title. It's a name. And he says something in Elvish.
Motherfucker, god damn it, fuck.
And no, he says something. It's not like he's trying to speak it over you. He then says, to what is a name? For what is a good name, if not just a name? It's words. Titles are words given to say that you're important. Names are given to you to identify who you are. That's why the collective has their names, so that we can't be identified if we talk about each other in weird ways.
Indulge me, because I'm curious.
Sure.
If you were to give me a collective name, what do you think it would be?
Oh, I love this game. Let's see. Outrage would be very tempting, but I don't think you're angry enough for that. Sweetheart?
It would also be too on the nose.
A little too on the nose. Sweetheart? You're not that sort of person. If you keep getting people calling you sweetheart, eventually you're going to hit them because they weren't meaning it the other way. Light step. No. You don't walk around like you're tiptoeing around stuff. Plus, we already have tiptoe, and I don't think she'd like hearing about another person trying to tiptoe into her territory. Ooh. You know, you're the one with the whole thing, right?
Define thing.
You were part of the group up north, and now whenever you fight, there's like another you that shows up. Not like a second you, just things
A different
change.
one?
Yeah. Duality.
Yes.
Oh, I can see that. Duality. Ooh, it kind of runs off the tongue. Oh, duality.
Interesting choice.
I like that. Yeah, I'd say duality would make a good name for you.
Just like combing through her hair at this point.
Oh yeah. He's like he's got a lot of long hair for himself, so he's like doing the same thing, doing some, general maintenance. Yeah, he's got like hair that comes down like past his shoulders. Well past.
Get on my
it.
level, loser. No.
Like I'm saying well past his shoulders because I can't see how far it actually goes, because it goes a little further than that.
Yeah, the picture I gave him just has the hair back in a ponytail. I didn't give him a picture of the hair down.
Rip.
Yeah. So what made you stand up for Babyface?
Sure, I understand what you mean.
You are risking your life fighting in what will probably feel endless, especially with tomorrow, battle. And you are confident. You are unwavering. Except when you look at everyone around you that is not your group. You look at us like each and every one of us doesn't have a reason to be here helping out. Like each and every one of us has something to hide. Like each and every one of us is looking to hurt you.
I don't know you.
You don't know us, but you don't look at us like someone passing you in the street. You look at us like people who are trying to hurt you. Don't get me wrong, we could. That's just the nature of things. We're all skilled at what we do, but none of us want to hurt you. We're helping you.
But I don't know that.
Do you not trust the words coming out of my mouth?
I wouldn't trust you any further than a butterfly could throw you.
Strong butterfly. I can go quite a ways.
Not far enough.
You'd be the sort of person who would pick up a stone, throw it across the sea, and say that's not far enough, though. You don't want to trust me.
I have no cause. And from your behavior, I have even less of a cause to trust you.
The cause to trust me.
You unfortunately have lost points in trusting.
How so? What have I done?
Whenever you
I've spoken, sure, but what have I done?
Speak. Let me finish. When you speak, it is too fluent. It is too knowing. It is too smooth. It's whispers like the prayers that the clergy have. Same clergy that put me in this scenario. You are too well-spoken, and you know it. And you use it.
Of course I do. Not using it would be a crime. The world gave to me a mouth with which to speak, and if I were to hold my tongue back, it wouldn't be blessed with the fact that I get away with one of the biggest things that you are going to say I'm lying about. And that's telling the truth as I see it. Now, is that going to say that's the truth for everyone? I mean, bleh. But when I'm saying, I'm here to help, that's very on the nose. That's pretty straightforward. And you say, I don't trust that.
You misunderstand what I mean when I say I don't trust you. I trust you long enough to know that you will do nothing in these 3 days. It's after those 3 days that I am looking at.
Well, why would I hurt you after the 3 days? After the 3 days, you'll basically be open to us, and we will be willing to accept you. I mean, if you choose not to, whatever, I don't care. That's your choice. But I have no reason to... What was it your friend said? Get in your way? Why would I want that? Why are you looking at me like that?
I have no thought that you would hurt me. None. I have no worry that you would hurt me.
But then why are you lying about that?
I have worry that you will hurt my dear friend. And while I have no doubt that if you did, she held up a finger to stop him, if you did, that there will be anything stopping me from ripping you apart. If you don't hurt her, then you have no qualms to worry, and I have no reason to be uptight. But I don't know that you won't do something that will hurt her, whether you believe it will or not. And so until I am proven wrong, I am not going to trust you.
I have no reason to hurt her, any more than I believe you would have reason to hurt her. Then again, your whole group seems to be people teetering on an edge, like you're about to jump, but you're either too scared or you're already so far through the jump that you forgot to look down. You're running Running in circles, running off the ledge, running. As much as you don't want to admit it, we're good people, and we could help you. I have no reason to hurt her. I care about her.
The worst of men have done things, awful things, with the best of intentions.
So if the
you
best of
truly
men
cared
doing
for her, you would leave her alone.
No, if I did that, I would get just as much people saying you should have been there for her. You should have done something. You see, the problem with caring about someone isn't that you should do one thing or another thing. It's that people will tell you what you should do. Like how you feel for Artemis. TikTok. If someone were to threaten her life, you'd stand by her and you'd rip people apart. But some people might say she needs to be free to move about as she needs. Some people would say you need to be there, and if you aren't there, then you are a coward or you're unfeeling.
My relationship with Artemis is nothing at all the same as yours and Genevieve's. Every time she looks at you, she is afraid.
Kind of bites his nail lightly.
She is on the precipice of raging.
Oh yeah, no, I figure. Kind of
Don't
closes his
ever
eyes.
Compare your relationship to mine again.
They don't have a relationship like mine.
Hold up. Yeah. How far away is he?
Even with half movement speed, you could make your way to him.
She is slamming him down to the side of the tub with her hand on his throat.
As you do so, there is a blade against your own throat. You do not know where he got the blade from, as when you walked in, you did not see any blade in his hand, and from where you were standing, you were on this other side where there was no blade.
This man is naked and still managed to pull out a dagger.
It's like a fucking scimitar level of blade.
I know exactly out of character where you were hiding this. Where were you hiding this?
As you pin him down,
Booty pocket.
Pop. Oh no, it'll be even worse when you see the full thing. But he just presses against you and just like temper duality. Just because you don't like hearing truths doesn't mean that they're not true. And just because you're angry about them doesn't mean that you should lash out. I'm being the calm one here. Go clean up. You still have some dirt in your face.
It takes a long time before she lets him go. She will walk out.
When you lean back, you realize he didn't pull a scimitar on you. He pulled a double-bladed scimitar on you, with one blade arcing one way, one blading off the other end. And
Sir,
yeah,
we're not allowed to smuggle weapons like that.
No, certainly not. And as you're walking out, you just hear him just like take the blade and just kind of look at it for a second before like just splashing it in the water as though he's playing with it like it's a toy. Splash. And you walk out.
Good lord.
The end of the hour comes, and the rest of the crew has arrived. And there's other people who will be filtering in and out as needed, but the rest of Fidget's old crew is here at the very least.
I'd imagine that during this period, Aurelius is training, getting used to the concept of wielding his greatsword in one hand and the crossbow in the other.
Okay. When Artemis gives you the your arm back, of course.
Yeah. Sorry, I brain shut down.
No, you're fine. You're just making sure the timing was right. And Artemis will be able to have that time to give that back to you for you to try to get a feel for it. Around this time, we do this one-handed like men. Eventually, around that time, Crazy will actually be called away for a second, then come back, and he will give you like this little, give Artemis like this little like device, and he's like, "Hey, can you look this over for me? Villanor is calling for you, but I know how you are with these kind of stuff, so if you can help me fix this, that'd be great."
Sure. She'll take the thing and start messing with it.
Go. Your friend Villanor is calling for you, so if you
she's walking toward Villanor, but she's not looking up.
Good. And the rest of your group specifically, is called over to a more of a private room with Villanor. So Artemis, Aurelius, Serenity, and Fidget are all in the room. If you all wish to follow, of course. Serenity's still angry.
Fidget will put her book away and then...
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roll to see how distracted or focused Aurelius is.
Okay.
Would this be like a perception check or a...
I'll say yeah.
Alright, yeah, he'll come over.
Yeah. You're not that distracted. You have to have spatial awareness.
Please walk right into the wall.
So you...
No.
Aurelius would.
So you all...
We saved that for later.
Later, yes. You're all taken to a room, and Villanor just kind of like gets up into a point where he just kind of sits on a table. Maxim's off to the side, just kind of cross-legged, just gives you guys a wave. It's only those guys. Only those two and the rest of you. And after a moment, Villanor just kind of leans back and looks at you all. And he looks distracted. Like he's... Actually, hold on. No. Sorry. Fidget, you're not there. Sorry. You are still reading your book. It's just the others who are taken.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, yeah, you said you were getting up and I'm like...
Here.
You're fine. Yeah, you said you had gone off and I'm like, where are you going? I realized I said you were called in as well. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So it's the three of you.
Back to my book. Bye.
Sorry. So yeah, it's Aurelius, Serenity, and Artemis are there. My apologies, I misspoke. But yes, you are in the room, and Villanor just... He looks like someone who is trying to compose the right words. Someone who is deep in thought and struggling, but obviously no one's going to fully reach out and help him in this as far as he's seeing. So he takes a bit and he just composes himself. I'd like to discuss with you something before we head in tomorrow. I want to make sure that we're all together on the same page here. If that's okay with you all. And he looks between the three of you with a bit of concern, like he's not sure what answer he'll get.
If there's chairs nearby, Aurelius will gesture to them.
Alright, we'll take a seat.
Fidget sits down, so not Fidget. Artemis can sit down at a table, so she can keep working while she's being talked to. He nods respectfully to each of you. Clearly glad that you are all coming together on this. I need to know what direction we're heading in together on this. Because, as it stands, I've talked to Fidget about how she wants to handle this. And I don't know that that's where you are seeing yourselves handling this as well. I want to see, how are you all looking to handle tomorrow's conflict?
Effectively.
It's to the point, I guess. That's on me. I made that very simple.
How would she like to handle it?
I asked how you were looking to handle it first. I will tell you, I promise. I want to hear your unfiltered, unbiased thoughts first.
I ask because I don't know how to handle this.
That is an answer. I respect that. Serenity, are you muted?
No! She's just silent.
He's looking at you waiting.
However she wants to deal with it is how I will deal with it.
And how would you want to deal with it?
Not in a way that is useful.
And how is that?
This could just be my own anger talking, but I want to tear things apart. And just deal with it as we get there.
Kind of pauses. Holds my finger. Might need to come back to that.
Told you.
Not in a bad way. I'm just... This group does things. I have been running after you all most of the time. I know that I was effectively told to follow along and be a companion to ensure of Aurelius's recovery and of Fidget's, but I do like you guys. But there's also rarely a full thought communication before some things are done. Do any of you know how Fidget has wanted to handle this as it has come?
Sort of grimaces because she knows the answer to that.
Emotions.
How are we supposed to know if she doesn't bring it up?
How are you supposed to know if you don't ask? It's not just her approaching you, Aurelius. You have to engage with people. You have to ask them questions. Otherwise, they won't look to you as someone who is willing to hear them.
In this circumstance, there was no time for questions.
No. But we've had some downtime to try and pull her aside where possible. And in the cart, we played things by ear, but we could have asked her. I'm not saying that I am exempt from this. I didn't ask. It's my realization that I didn't that brought me to all of you in this, because I don't know if any of you asked, if any of you know or knew, or if it was just me. And your answer and how you're all looking at me right now kind of tells me the plain, clear as day truth. And I get it.
So what does she want to do?
She's a fighter. She wants to fight. She knows she's got people who will stand by her. She knows you all are here. She trusts you.
Artemis looks like she wants to argue, but she is resisting. And she just nods. Goes back to fixing the thing that's in her hands.
He keeps the silence for a moment. And he just says...
Eventually Aurelius will say, if she wants to fight, let her fight.
What about you? What about all of you?
If you don't
Should
think
I-
I'm not going to fight with her.
Should I be tasked with staying in the back lines, then I will, but if they want to use me effectively, they will put me in the front lines. I've been walking around this place looking at all the different angles, all the different defenses.
Did you bring any?
I may have to... I may not be willing to act in a role as a commander, but if I have to, I will. I know how to defend a keep.
You know how to defend a keep. But part of being a commander is having the respect of those beneath you.
He quotes something that his adopted mother told him once.
Mm-hmm.
Treat your soldiers as if they were your sons.
And you have treated them as though they were distant people, Aurelius. No one here is your son. No one here looks up to you. No one here would listen to you. Except for maybe this group. I would listen to you, but it's because you and I are kind of motions between the both of you. And that's part of the problem. Yes, we should be keeping on edge with these people, but you distance yourself from them. And they're not going to think of you as anything more than just a shadow on the wall. You can't lead them like a commander if they think that you don't care, that you're just going to be here today and leave tomorrow. This isn't a clergy where everyone expects you to be a great paladin to look up to you. The paladins here are sheep. You're a black sheep, you're different, but how do they know you're not still just another sheep?
A group of sheep can take on the largest of creatures.
Aurelius?
Only if they're coordinated.
Yes.
I must create light to guide them.
Aurelius? You are not a light right now. I wasn't kidding when I said you are a shadow. You have been against every wall and keeping yourself away from people. Trying to suddenly shine a light will only blind them and make them look away from you. And I need you to understand, my circle, you want to talk about sheep and herding. I am a shepherd. I know a thing or two about leading sheep.
Then you command.
We don't need a commander.
We need camaraderie. We need to be able to work together amongst each other and amongst this group. We need them to know we're not going to be their enemy. Tank has
How
seen
can
us
we
work.
tell them something that is not true?
Why are you making enemies of them then? They are
temporary allies.
Mm-hmm.
Temporary.
And why?
They know that the second this is over, that we will not interact with them, we will not speak to them again, unless they find us.
With you, Aurelius. Unless you are willing to engage them. Because they are Fidget's friends. They may not be your friends. They are not Serenity's or Artemis has friends here.
I would hardly call Silver a friend.
I might not call him a friend as well, but there are others outside of Silver. There are people outside of one man.
How can we trust any of them? If any of what Fidget has said is true, none of them are to be trusted.
Hank is to be trusted.
Tank has been nothing but trustworthy. Or have you seen something in my brother that I have not?
My point still stands.
Your point.
How am I meant to...
Your point is that you don't trust them because of Silvertongue, yes?
I don't trust them because of Fidget's word.
About Silvertongue.
About all of them, save for those she enlightens. I meant no disrespect against your brother.
It doesn't matter that he's my brother. Razor has shown himself to be a good man. Ember is a little ditzy, but she's helping. She has no reason to. Among the friends that she brought up, Ember was not among them, but she has helped us. She has not caused you.
He did not know Ember.
And she has only spoken ill of Silvertongue and Midnight. Everyone else, when she was brought up this place, except for her leader, D'Artez, but from the sound of it, even those here dislike him. How will you know who you can trust if you don't talk to people, if you don't engage?
How are they any less than sheep if they follow them blindly?
Who's to say that they're blind?
Would you call us following Fidget blindly?
Motions to Serenity,
They have reasons same as we do. I will interact more, but I will not be kind to Silvertongue. Especially not when he compares his relationship with Fidget to mine and Artemis.
Artemis briefly glances up, but she just meets Velenor's stare and nods.
He nods back and kind of like makes a gentle motion of like he wants to hear your thoughts, but he's also not trying to force it out, just to coax.
I agree we should not be adversarial with the comrades that we have here.
Understand that the first day I was here, I was right next to someone who was willing and able to stab us all.
You
understand
Yes.
that this is why I do not trust them.
Let her finish
I'm not saying
speaking.
trust them. I'm saying don't be adversarial.
Do not be adversarial to a random person you meet on the streets.
Not only that, but, and I mean no offense by this, but half of our group are more than capable of stabbing us all. You are one of those people, Aurelius.
Artemis will look between Aurelius and Villanor to see if she can continue talking or if they're going to continue.
He motions to you again, after seeing how Aurelius acts, seeing if he'll jump in again.
There's a silence, but and I'm very purposefully doing this.
Mm-hmm.
There is a hint of a growl beneath his voice.
Of course.
But he recognizes it, and before he can allow that part of himself to take hold, he stands up from the table and walks not too far away, but enough away where he can recollect himself.
At that, he kind of like looks like he's like ready to like reach out a hand, but when he sees that you're just recollecting yourself in the corner, he puts it back down and motions for Artemis to continue.
But I think you also need to realize that all we know about this environment is that even though she has made friends here, even though I have friends here, and I do have a friend here, and I'm surprised he's here. All we know is that this is an abusive environment that she ran from. Our caution, our need to hold them at arm's length, is understandable. But we shouldn't be adversarial with people we have to fight alongside. It doesn't bode well for the fight.
No, you're right. May I interject?
I mean, that's what all of you have been doing, hasn't it?
It is, but I didn't want to do so if you still had more to finish with, to round out your statement.
Well, I'm sure I will once you finish. Because you're going through us one by one and telling us what you believe we have done wrong.
I'm trying to help you see a different perspective. And Fidget didn't run because of Silvertongue. She never spoke of the group as a bad place.
She thought this place would kill her.
Yes. But she did because she had run from them. Because she ran because of the fight. The fight that brought her and Tedric to conflict. She didn't run because of Silvertongue or Midnight. She ran because I think she's afraid of going back and having to face D'Artez. And
Okay.
that might just be me, but it's not that.
I'll
Go ahead.
interject.
Go ahead.
I don't mean to sound crass or rude or abrasive with this. But when I have this conversation with Fidget, I would rather learn about her from her. How do you suggest we go forward with our allies?
If you don't think that Fidget would see them again, I think you're missing how much she does enjoy being amongst them.
I am not asking about
No,
that.
I'm not done. You're asking how to handle this, and I'm going long term, not just the short term. You know many things, Artemis. Just a perspective is just the same thing from a different view. I think a modicum of trust. I'm not saying to trust someone like Silvertongue. He's made his point clear with how much he has made Fidget uneasy, but a modicum of trust for some of the others. Interact a little between a few others around. See who we think is actually on our side. And talk to Fidget.
I have given them that.
You have. And I'm not saying that this was directed at any one person, but it is bringing it up to you all together so that you can keep each other accountable. Because I can't do this alone. I'm not here to give you enlightenment or therapy. I'm here to give how I'm looking at things.
Okay. Now that we've looked at the long term, what about the short term?
Same thing.
What does she want to do?
She wants to fight.
Okay. How would she like us to help her fight?
I'd say talk to her. And you'll find out.
Okay.
Trinity gets up.
Yeah,
Done.
Artemis is
Yeah.
already up. She's going toward the door.
Fidget is right behind the door.
Excellent, just who I wanted to see. She hooks an
Your
arm through
ear
hers.
hustle's so
Let's
funny.
go.
She's in tears.
Oh. Artemis kind of pauses and looks over. Who did it?
Would you like to
Yeah, I
come
heard.
inside?
If you guys were gonna talk about me, you could have at least had me here.
He did it.
Blame Valinor. And she promptly takes Fidget over to the table.
The sibling energy of immediately blame Valinor. Just, he did it. There was
Zero hesitation of
He's
both
the
of them immediately.
It's true, but
Yeah,
at the same time,
Artemis is just being autistic. She's just saying, well, he took us aside.
no, it's the truth, but it's the both of you immediately, without question or hesitation. I'm sorry, that was
Aurelius will still be
In the corner.
like off,
yeah.
like not necessarily in the corner at this point, just kind of letting everyone else go and staying behind with Valinor.
No, they
Oh no,
brought her in.
They brought Fidget into the room.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
yeah.
Fidget will
It-
motion
Mhm.
to her earpiece and go, "You guys know you can turn this off, right?"
The
Thought I took
spice
mine
mode.
out.
Trinity.
Ah,
Trinity just fucking snorts before she just starts laughing. Oh, probably can't be sneaky, that's for sure.
Artemis will just kind of wave her fingers near Fidget's face. Just kind of murmur under her breath and prestidigitate the wetness away from her face.
I will stay true to
Leaving a bit of
everything
a
that I have
warmth.
said and not elaborate. Aurelius is just gonna like.
I will give you guys my perspective on things. I understand why you guys have acted like you did. Been trying to keep me safe. And it's my fault that I was not more clear. but I also need to point out something. And she looks over at Aurelius. I'm still collective. I'm still part of the group that you held such ill will towards. Yes, Silvertongue is an absolute bastard. Anybody who wants to castrate the man, you have my full permission. Midnight saying that we used to be friends, I don't know. My memory is still trying to come back after everything. I grew up with Razor being my only friend in town. The only one who didn't care who my father was. Didn't care that D'Artes hated him. After that, Tank became family. Razor was family. This is the only place that I felt welcome in Corvin, where I would not be teased for who my father was. And I want you to realize that these people, you might not trust them, and I'm not asking you to fully trust them, but these are my people. Okay?
Alright.
Her eyes haven't left Aurelius.
Artemis
And I
kind of withdraws her hands and looks at Fidget. She looks a little distant. What
There's
would
a
you like
look.
us to do?
There's a look on Aurelius's face that you guys have not seen since the first day he's met you.
Go ahead.
To answer Artemis.
Artemis was saying
As to
something.
what she said, what does Fidget want them to do?
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear her finish that.
Artemis.
I didn't. I apologize. I was making sure that she was heard.
She'll turn her full attention to Artemis, going, I want you guys to do what you do best. Artie, tomorrow I want you to set every fucking person you can ablaze, and I will add fuel to that fire, you better believe it. Serenity, I don't want you to hold back. All that anger you have towards Silvertongue, take it out on everybody.
That was the default plan.
Aurelius, you know what you're doing when it comes to this kind of thing, but you have to realize it is not what you're used to, okay? And realize that some of these people might actually know what they're talking about. These people I trust. Yes, Von Sterling said that I had to look through these people and find somebody who they didn't actually meld with this group, and I think I might have found them. Because I know these people. But tomorrow I want you all to stand with me to fight. Don't put me in the back. Don't make it so I can't fight, okay? The reason why I've been crying so much lately, so upset that you guys are getting hurt, is because I can't help when I'm invisible. I can't help when I'm not allowed to. And that's why I've been crying so much. That's why I'm so upset.
Artemis is gonna, put out a hand to shake hers. She looks a little awkward about it. Still distant, but
She'll take her hand.
she'll put her other hand on top of it and give it a squeeze. I'm sorry. I won't do it again.
The fact that you were willing to do that, though, Artie, I might not understand magic, and I might never understand magic. The fact that you were willing to do that for me, though, that was proof to me how close we really are. that you wanted me safe. And honestly, if I had issue with it, I should have said something sooner, and I didn't. So you
I
were
understand
not
why
the
you
only
didn't.
one to blame.
But I'm sorry. And you're worth keeping safe. You're also worth letting fight your own fights and fighting alongside you. And I'm not a fighter. Helping you hide and run. Kind of shrugs. That's what I'm good at.
And I know I have history of wanting to run and hide, and I've been doing it for 2 years. I'm tired.
I understand. Another squeeze. Kind of puts a hand on her shoulder delicately and looks her over. We'll follow your lead. I need to take a walk. Not outside, just in the... I'm not leaving the building. She looks around to, reassure everyone else in the room that she is not leaving the building.
She'll point to the spies murmur going, if you need us, just say. But this place is huge.
I just... taps her temple. I
Understandable.
had a lot to think about.
Understandable.
She walks over to Serenity, gives her a little kiss on the cheek, pats her, and pats her arm. I'll be back. Or I'll come find you.
She nods.
She goes over and kind of mock punches Velinor in the shoulder and, wags off her hand. Ow.
He pats you gently, very gently on the back. Gives you a little nod.
Thank you, Velinor.
I do care about you all. Deeply.
Then she'll go over to Aurelius. Kind of do a little bit of an awkward thing of reaching over with her foot and tapping his foot with hers.
Sorry, I was doing dishes while this was happening.
Get back here.
Artemis is doing an awkward little thing of reaching over with her foot and tapping his foot with hers.
There's
She wants to give
little
him
to no
space, but
response.
she'll give a little nod to that and then continue out of the room.
Bridget will turn to Velinor. And there's a smile on her lips despite how tired and sad she looks, going, you were just like your brother, you know that?
Did you plan this?
No.
I hadn't a clue he was doing this. I was wondering where all you guys were, and then I could hear the conversation, and I just kind of followed the raised voices.
Sorry.
Again, you've got nothing to apologize for. Next time, if I'm the topic of conversation, I kind of like to be able to put in my 2 cents.
What if I'm discussing you and Maxim? Just a cheeky smile.
Maxim's been quiet and sitting there this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking!
He's in the room!
Yeah.
No, he's not!
Cop said he was in the room!
He gives a little
You didn't
wave.
list him when you listed.
I did.
You didn't list him when you said. No, you didn't.
I did.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
shit,
That he
I
was
didn't
sitting
hear
on
it
a
either.
table.
Yeah,
That he was
he-
sitting
I
on a
didn't hear
table.
it either.
Yeah,
I
no.
didn't hear it either.
He's just been sitting on a
See,
table in the corner of the room. He just gives a little wave, like, yeah, I'm still here.
See,
I'm very-
I heard that as Fidget is sitting on the table.
No.
I think I did too. I want to say Serenity just did not
I
notice.
didn't hear
mean,
Fidget or Maxim.
Yeah,
And you
not-
didn't mention him doing anything, and you also
No.
didn't mention him doing anything at all throughout the entire scene. So
no,
I just assumed he wasn't in there.
He is just sitting there, just listening, giving little nods every now and then.
Oh, I hate even that fucking... Yeah. Stop
What'd
that.
I do? No. I will not stop that.
Sneaky.
He's been... To be fair, I didn't know he was here either until I came into the room, because I didn't hear him talk.
I mean, I had nothing to add.
It's like looking for a cockroach in an entirely brown room.
Oh no, you'll see the cockroach.
He's good at his job. This is kind of what he does.
Stop that.
A cockroach runs over Aurelius's foot.
If you genuinely mean that, you about to watch the barbarian move faster than the monk. Dawn, please tell me there are not roaches.
There shouldn't be roaches.
Dawn.
What's a roach doing in here, Aurelius?
Dawn. I genuinely need to know if there is a roach in this room.
We'll say no. We don't need you rushing out at high speed.
She wouldn't go out. She would be up.
On
He'd
the
be on a
ceiling.
table or a chair.
Serenity.
Aurelius's foot would no longer be a foot.
Not Aurelius. Serenity is suddenly the radiant Spider-Man. Just on the ceiling, just Spider-Man runs away from cockroaches.
If you think she went divine soul to get the fuck away from that shit, you are sorely mistaken. But since it's all been brought to our attention, and it seems like we are willing to hear you out, as we should have from the start, how do you want to rip apart the enemies?
You know, we kind of work really well together when it comes time to fight. We've fought together many a time.
I know,
The
but there
three
are
of-
traps, there are...
The three of us, and she points between herself, you, and Aurelius. We kind of have an affinity of getting in the face of danger, and God's help anybody who tries to enter this building tomorrow.
Aurelius just looks at his arm.
I know which one.
The stinky one.
The stinky one.
Stinky one!
His left arm.
Fidget will move over to Aurelius, and unlike Artemis, will not give him space.
Ah!
But we're just having an argument in the chat. Anyways, she'll go to Aurelius and kind of, after a moment, just kind of very lightly give his arm the lightest of taps with her fist, going, "You'll be by my side tomorrow, yeah?"
He just nods quietly.
Aurelius. Question for you, my man.
I didn't do it.
You kind of did. Are you...
Sounds like someone guilty would say.
Are you currently... Would you say Aurelius currently is in a darker mindset?
Yes.
Can you roll me a charisma save? Okay. That is a failure.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel, as you're looking at your arm, you can feel where that arm had once been, and feel where that bits that felt more infected were. You can feel that where it crawled up your neck across your face. You can feel it almost like tighten, like being shrink wrapped in your own body for a little bit. It's not like a thing that happens immediately. It's been happening throughout this conversation as you've argued with, well, less argued and more stated plainly your thoughts. But as your thoughts kept going darker, it's gotten just tighter. You're just now starting to notice it. Remember how this is how you once felt down there. It's
It's not explicitly stated, but the look on Aurelius's person is one of regret, and the reason he's acting the way he is out of fear of failure, basically. What you see is a glimpse of who he was in some of the darkest moments of his life. Which is why I said you see a look on his face you haven't seen since you first met him. Would you say that he is seeing and or hearing anything?
Hearing more so.
Okay.
And it's not like he's hearing direct things. It's more just like of...
Sounds?
Have you ever been in a dark room and had a fan on where it like blows against cloth and you hear the cloth rustle and you kind of peek your head up thinking it's something moving in the room?
Okay, I'll tell you a story later, but
Later, yeah.
fucking... Yeah.
Yes, that is the kind of thing where like every now and then Aurelius like looks over his shoulder like he heard something moving and is like looking for it and it's just not there. And he can figure it out. He can see what it is that made the sound, but hearing the sound again is still like, but I have to check just in case.
He seems to be looking towards shadows in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Aurelius? What's wrong?
You're amongst us. You ain't around the others. You don't gotta keep up the strong front for us. We're all kind of fucked up.
Serene covers her mouth.
Tell me I'm wrong. We're all fucked up.
Oh, fuck up didn't leave 6 dead. And he'll slowly leave the room.
He rips his
Yeah,
arm.
no, it was 5 for me, but you know. Who's counting?
Mine was an entire room of clerics.
Aurelius just kind of looks over his shoulder.
If you
Clerics?
keep a chip on your... Did you really think that I was... And the meeting of a devil and a celestial's very being wouldn't result in something explosive? She's gonna arch her eyebrow.
Aurelius tries to remember. He's like trying to think back on his knowledge, but for some reason he just can't recall that kind of specific circumstance.
I'll tell you later, but for right now, I don't want you to just walk away and stew. We just had a whole discussion about not needing to do this.
You just need time.
Let him take a moment, Serenity. We kind of did unload a lot on him. And she looks over at Eleanor. You and I both did.
Listen, you
So,
all
like,
you all still need therapy, and I'm not qualified. I am, if anything, underqualified.
I've been needing therapy, but to have therapy, I need closure. And to have closure, I need to walk into a clergy.
There's clergy,
Which is a bad idea.
No.
No. It's a very specific clergy.
Then don't go there.
That is the problem. Do you see the problem?
No.
Are we heading anywhere near it in this whole thing figured die?
Out of character, no.
Okay.
No, but quick thing, probably should bring up the person that we almost ran over.
Oh, you
Blondie?
mean the guy that Tank told me not to slow the cart down and see what happened?
Yeah. I might know him.
Something to worry about.
Can I roll a history check in relation to anything that Aurelius might recall?
Go ahead and roll a history check.
Okay.
If you get at least a 15, you may also roll a religion check. No.
That sure was a blonde dude.
That is a 9.
She just kind of rubs her arm.
Fine, it was a blonde dude with blue eyes. Fuck.
It's not out of character for her to be demure, but it's a little bit out of character for her to look ashamed.
Look, Serenity, we took a whole fucking detour to deal with my shit. If we need to take a detour to help with you, I will do so in a blink of an eye.
I don't know how I might go about even fixing this, because it is very much I think he might have been the person who pulled me into the clergy. The person that, tutored me on all things paladin, and then eventually into the rage style of fighting that I do. Problem being, he was also my first relationship.
Is
And
he
that
the one
Aurelius's
that left
eyes.
that mark?
See Aurelius's eyes widen,
Fidget's eyes
And
actually
at
narrow
that-
going. Go ahead, you first.
and at that point, he actually does need to leave the room because it reminds him of something else in his first relationship. So he's leaving the room. It's like, I'll be back later.
Yeah, Fidget's eyes were narrow going, is this the same person you were telling me that left the mark on you?
No. That was the first mentor I had. He took over when he found out exactly how extreme Zender's methods were. And I want to believe he wouldn't have, but I think he might have also been the person to elect me for their attempt to get rid of Invictus. I really want to believe that he is the reason, but he's the only one who fully knew about me like this, other than the people who were involved with the ritual.
Once this is all done, once tomorrow's done, we all just need to sit and actually talk to one another. You know that?
It's very hard for me to talk in general, you know this. Besides, what would I
Yeah,
even
but-
say?
I'm very good at talking, just not about.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Aurelius isn't in the room. Shoot.
He's in. The
at the
spies
door.
murmur's still on.
Oh, yeah. We still
Fair. Fair.
we-
Fidget did
you know,
use that. We can use.
we really need to remember to turn that off before we start having intimate conversations like this.
Fidget will actually go up and press the tap on the spice murmur before looking at Serenity going, really, if one of us starts talking and it triggers a memory of yours or something similar, maybe that'll help you figure out what you need to talk to us about, but we just need to sit and we need to talk. And not talk to one of us and then have the information kind of trickle to the rest of us. I have a bad habit of doing that. I'm not pointing fingers at everybody else. I have a bad habit of talking to one of y'all and hoping that the rest of you know about it.
It's not that easy for me. And it's not that I don't trust you. I'm willing to tell a lot of things. She looks like she's struggling to figure out how to phrase this.
If you need to take time, take time, Serenity. I'm not saying you have to do anything. It's just that we all kind of keep ourselves distant from one another despite the fact that we say we trust each other.
The problem is I want to talk about this. It's just... There's a lot missing. And there's even more missing than I realized, and I don't know why it's missing, and it's... I just found out I don't know what my parents look like a few days ago.
And I thought I had memory issues. Damn, okay.
And I don't know when this memory loss started. I thought it was fine. And then something got brought up, and I realized I don't know what they look like. I don't know how they are. I don't even know if I recognize them if I saw them.
Do you remember where they are at all?
I'm assuming yes, Don.
Yeah, that part you remember. They're
not.
they're not marked on the map. It's a small town along the way.
Okay.
If your memory continues to go on these things, speaking as somebody who had it unwillingly tampered with herself, if we need to do anything to help you remember your family, remember how they look, remember their names, remember anything, I will drag you there myself.
I've been
Okay.
sending letters, but I don't know if I've gotten anything back or if it's even been received.
Who you sending them through?
Well, I send them just wherever I can with the postage, but
We've been
and
on
he's
the
probably going
move,
to be...
Serenity.
No. I have them sent to... He's not gonna like this. I have them sent to Gadai.
Oh, then you should probably actually talk to Gadai.
She does.
Adi's got the stone. He always is happy to hear from us, despite the fact that we get into so much shit.
Out of
And I'm
character.
surprised
he
he
likes
still
us.
wants to help.
Out of character. I'm surprised you never brought that up when you guys went back to Godai's tower, where he might just have a stack of letters for you.
Well, the thing is like, she didn't start, like, fully sending them. She's been writing them. But she hasn't been sending them until after we'd already left.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, Serenity.
So, it's one of those things. The fact that Gadai is still on our side with all the shit that we've been doing, on top of doing this fetch quest for him, and he still trusts us to do this shit for him, I think he'll be happy to hear from you. It's one of those, all this shit that we've been doing for him, and the fact that he's still on our side, despite the fact that we're doing all this and we're supposed to be helping him, I think he'd be happy to hear from you. Not just me and Adi all the time.
I mean, it's not... I'm just...
Are you afraid of what the letters might say if they do come back?
Kara bites her lip, and you can tell the answer is yes. I don't...
Were you close to your family?
Unbelievably. I don't think they'd be bad, but... I mean, how do you wonder how your family might react when most likely the only way they know that you're alive is through a wanted poster?
See, I don't even know what it's like to have a family that wanted you. So,
I think my mother might like you if she met you. My father definitely would.
oh, I say that family didn't want me. If father didn't want me. Mom, just peacekeeper. Little brother too young to even probably remember me.
That I definitely feel.
One of these
Surprisingly.
days, Serenity, we just need to go back. I will be by your side when we go back. I know the rest of us will too.
She nods.
Not saying we gotta do it now because we got so much other traumatic shit we gotta get through first. Because everybody seems to have somebody showing up here.
I really don't
Okay.
like that.
Only person who hasn't had somebody show up here is Aurelius. And I'm waiting for tomorrow because, you know.
Please, no more. If he gets kidnapped again, I can't. I've dealt enough. I've dealt with enough cultist things.
You know,
Smash
I
cut
think
to Aurelius being kidnapped by the dummy mummy.
I think right now is we all just need a bit of time tonight to clear our head. I know that's what Artemis is doing. I know that's what Aurelius is doing. I about wore a hole in the ground in the floor out there trying to clear my mind. I think you need to find your way to clear your mind too, Serenity.
Right, for that I'm going to need you.
Me?
Yes.
What can I do to help?
This is gonna be so stupid. Does Aurelius have a quarterstaff?
If you
Aurelius,
go,
or do you mean
the-
Max?
Not Aurelius. Velador.
there is, but there is also like a little sparring area where you can just ask for a quarterstaff.
She'll point to Velador's quarterstaff. Evictus has been twitchy and it's making me twitchy.
You wanna fight me?
Yeah.
Come on, I'll
Might
show
as
you
well
to the
get the-
sparring area.
Lovely. She'll follow after, look at Velador, and stop. Give me 1 second. And she will move back up to him.
Don't forget Maxim's still in the room.
It's like, she goes in, there's like 30 seconds, and then Maxim is legitimately like cartoon kicked out.
just like flying out like, this is a predicament.
Fidget will just kind of take his hand in hers and walk with them to the sparring area.
Romantic moment, ho!
I mean, let Serenity have her moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
You asked everyone how they were. Every last person, you made sure everything was right and speak as men, despite the fact that you said that you were not a therapist.
Definitely not, no.
You did not at one point bring up you. So how are you feeling?
I feel like a kid. Where all the adults hate each other, but none of them are willing to say why. Watching other people stub their toes and move on with it.
You think this helped a bit with that?
I don't know. Time will tell.
As tense as it was, thank you for bringing it up. Come on.
I want to see you all be happy. All right.
And we want to see you happy, which means that you need to talk a bit more too.
I'm helping. I'm
Cat
trying.
outside the collective bar?
Yeah.
No, me.
Emotions for you to go with him.
Come on. We'll take his hand. I'm not leaving you to stew in this room.
Fine.
She'll drag him to the smart area.
Mm-hmm.
Who do I hit first?
You can just
You
be
wanted
swinging
to-
around, but
You 2v2, couple versus couple.
magnificent.
I call cheats! You got the over-leveled one!
You see Aurelius in the background, just like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Hold on, let me just pull up my popcorn here.
He actually does go over to wherever the snacks are, and just like grabs a few like bread rolls.
There is actually a snack bar for people watching the people training. Meanwhile,
See that big chick? She's gonna fuck him up.
Meanwhile, Artie, you said you wandered off.
Yeah, she's just kind of mapping out the building
Okay.
and getting lost in her thoughts.
After a little bit, there's a moment where it takes a moment before you fully recognize that there is someone like approaching, and like they get up right close to you, like maybe like 5-10 feet away, before you kind of pause and look up, and you just see Midnight just kind of strolling next to you.
Gives still a little wave, a little wiggle of her fingers.
Gives a little wiggle back. So you getting a feel of where everything is?
Yeah, this building is big.
It's supposed to be big. Means that more people can attack from all the way around and have less people get all the way in.
That's true. I should snare the doors. And the windows.
That's a lot of snares. You think you got time for all of them?
How much time do we have?
The all out stuff is supposed to happen tomorrow, but honestly, I think if we take some time to start setting them up today, I think we should be able to get like at least a good part of the building snared up. We just gotta make sure other people know not to trigger them, you know what I mean?
Like you did. Need to find the big doors. Major entrances. And they'd most likely be able to attack. Are there any ceiling entrances?
There's a skylight. People know not to come through the skylight though, because if you try and like break through the skylight, we have 5 layers of glass. It means you'll break the first one and you'll just probably hurt yourself, unless you drop like a really big rock. But wave break is not known for really big rocks.
I like how you built it.
I'm sure the people who built it would thank you for that. I'm just glad that I'm a part of this. I'm on the winning side.
She still looks pretty lost in her thoughts, but she's still trying to engage in
Of course.
whatever conversation he's trying to initiate.
How's Fidget? I've been meaning to pop over and check in on her, but she never really wanted to spend time with me, and I'm starting to respect that a bit more, but I'm nosy. I can't help it, you know?
What was your relationship with her? I'm nosy too.
I can tell. It's probably part of why I like you. Honestly, I call us friends. I wanted us to be friends.
What did you do while you were friends?
I tried to help my friends be better friends.
What's that mean?
He like comes to a stop and he just kind of hooks his thumbs into his belt for a second and just kind of has this look that like his face is like he's smiling, his eyes are bright, and you see for a moment he lets it all go away. And this is probably one of the most open bits you've seen of Midnight, at least from what you can see of him. He just looks like he's just drained and a little bit exhausted. I set up Silver and Babyface at the time to go out a little bit. Thought they'd be compatible, both fighters, kind of able to back each other up and stuff.
As fighting partners or romantically?
It grew, especially since she got set up with Tank as her partner to work on fighting around and stuff, but
I'm not judging you.
I'm judging me.
I know you are. That's why I'm not.
Thanks. Have you heard of over-attunement?
I'm gonna say yes that she has.
You've at least heard of it in passing. And to explain real quick, over-attunement is you have 3 attunement slots. Normally. That's what you're supposed to have. Nothing says specifically that you can't attune to more, or that at least you can't attempt to attune to more. The magic should stop that, and it should not be possible, but if you succeed, you'd be able to be attuned to more. But in doing so, it has definitive drawbacks. Silver keeps that into his collection when he finds things that he think will help him be better.
Does he know that burning the candle at both ends is an ineffective weapon?
In his own words, he says that by burning the candle at both ends, he's making a brighter light for however short a time he's got left. He's possessive and he's crazy, but he's pretty sure he's gonna die in a short while, but I don't know how long that is. He doesn't know how long that is. He's just thinking that it is.
It sounds like he's made a contract.
I think he's made a death wish.
Same difference. When she says contract, there's a very meaningful look behind it.
He doesn't deny it, and he just seems to just nod before he says that it's a death wish, which you get the impression he's agreeing with you rather than saying that the way you said it is wrong. Just a different way of saying it.
She makes a little gesture for him to continue walking with her, since they've come to a stop. And waits for him to walk a little closer before continuing.
He eventually will step up and walk with her. So, yeah. The only way I can really say it is I tried to be her friend. And at the end of the day, I followed through on the only thing that I do well. Make things worse.
Try again.
That is the hardest part, isn't it?
It is.
Because as good as trying again is, I don't seem to be very good at making new mistakes.
Make different mistakes.
Yeah.
Make mistakes in her favor.
We'll see if I can find any, huh?
I'm sure you will.
Hmm.
You're good at finding things.
I found you.
Yes, you did. She kind of looks over at him and gives him a soft smile, like getting out of that out of her thoughts for just a moment before slipping back into him.
Why don't you show me a few places where we can set up these snares? See if we can. We might need to actually make it more mundane than magical.
All right. How much rope do we have here?
Walks over to a crate, opens it up, and it's many loops of hemp rope. A few.
She pockets the thing that she was working on and just kind of excitedly taps her fingers together. Ooh, yes. Good.
All right, let's see about setting this up, eh?
Yeah. At midnight.
Hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell if you're manipulative or not, but I think you're pretty good.
The honest answer is yes, I am. I manipulate my enemies to be right where my allies can get them.
Who's your enemy and who's your ally?
Right now, I'd say that's a problem. Because the people on the other side, they're also my allies. We're all collective. I don't want to see anyone on either side killed. But they're going to try and drag Fidget away. If I've made a lot of mistakes, I don't think I want to repeat that one.
And make different mistakes.
Yeah, the new mistake is we don't have enough rope, and he starts handing you the rope.
You know, for someone that is so good at manipulating, you're very bad at changing the subject. She takes the rope.
I know, right? Isn't it great?
I'm not sure. I can't tell if you're doing it on purpose to dissuade me or if it's just how you are with people that you're starting to enjoy the company of.
Ew, don't say that. That means I'll actually sound like I'm being soft and sappy. Yeah.
You did save my life.
I mean, yeah. But I'd have
I would say that's
done
pretty
that
soft.
again. Ugh. Yeah. Ugh. Here's another rope.
She keeps taking the rope. She's probably buried in rope by the time he's finished.
Probably.
You know you can't bury your problems in rope, but I understand.
I can bury my problems in problem solving. It'll be...
Or you can bury them in more problems.
That's also true. Yeah, no. Do you think that if we
It's
set
also
these...
easier to do.
Do you think that if we set these up so that the snare goes off where they trigger it, thinking they're safe, that it can drop something that'll cause a big bright light so we can know where they're at would be good? I don't know how to do that though.
Ooh, Ooh, yes, flash powder. Ooh, where's Crazy?
I'll lead you to him. He will
Thanks.
walk away with you and lead you to Crazy, who will exuberantly be like, "Oh, we're making traps!" Yes, and he will help the two of you set up some traps around the area, preparing for tomorrow. And I will say, on that note, just because I note that you tend to need to get to sleep around this time, I'd say that would be a good place to end the session. With genuine heart-to-heart, an attempt to bring people closer, as well as little bits of introspection that maybe weren't needed from Silvertongue, and others that were more definitely needed from Velinor, and preparations being made for tomorrow, which will be next week for the rest of you. Unless, of course, we have
I'm not going to
more.
be here next week.
You're not going to be here next week?
Yeah,
Okay,
next
2
week.
weeks.
Yeah,
2
next
weeks.
week when.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Not 1 week, 2 weeks. Fair enough. Yes, thank you for reminding me. I'm very bad with dates.
You're good. Yeah, I was talking. I'm flying out tomorrow, and I'm nervous.
Yeah, for over a week.
Fine.
You got
Yeah.
this.
You're gonna have fun. You're gonna do great.
I'm gonna have fun. The plane is the part that I'm nervous about.
Honestly,
Trust
it's
me,
boring.
honey. Just put in some earbuds. Don't look out the window when you're taking off, and just
I like
enjoy
the
the cool
window
air.
though.
I know.
Look out the window when you're stable. If you look out when you take off, you're gonna get
Motion sickness.
vertigo.
I made that mistake too many times.
I made that mistake
Okay.
the one time I had the window seat because they kept moving me away from it.
I think that was a sign.
No, it wasn't. I wanted to see. Anyways. I'd say this has been a very fruitful session. For those who are watching the recording, thank you all so much for watching with us. This is a phenomenal group to play D&D with. You guys are always just absolutely fantastic, and I appreciate every session with you because you guys are just great. We do post these on my channel, Uncommon Guru on YouTube, under Cormundum Chaos. So if you need to find it, the name is at the top of the video. You can find me there. And for those who are on YouTube, we do stream these generally weekly. We are going to be streaming on the not the 19th, but the 26th of this month. So in 2 weeks, we'll be back. We might do something next week. It depends on if everyone is able to do stuff.
I will say, potentially, I might not be here on the 26th.
You might not be in here on the 26th.
Potentially.
So it might be 3 weeks. We will see whether or not Paris is here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. But in that respect, we will be streaming these on twitch.tv/WhatTeamComp if we are doing so. If you want to see when we stream, we do stream around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you follow us, it should pop up with a little blip saying that we are streaming, and we'd love to have you, love to see you join and enjoy with us. And until next time, we're WhatTeamComp, and we'll see you all later. Bye-bye!
Hey.